Hi everyone, this is Crafty Decoria and I hope everyone is doing great. So for today's Dollar Tree Craft with me, I will be making a winter sled. I will be making two actually, so I'm going to show you two different ways to make this. I wanted to do this DIY during the month of December, but I was really busy and I didn't get a chance to do it until now. But this will be a really nice decor piece that you can keep up all winter long to carry you through till spring. All of the items that you see in front of me are from the Dollar Tree, with the exception of the spray paint that is Valspar paint and primer, and I have it in white and black. If weather is permitting, I like to use the spray paint just to get the project done a lot quicker, but if not, then I have the Dollar Tree acrylic paint in white and black. So all of these items are what I will be using to make both sleds. I'm just going to go over everything that I'm using, and then as I'm making each sled, I will show you which items I'm using for the particular sled. If I remember, I will also try to make a list in the description box below of all the items that I used for each sled. So I have the Dollar Tree Love Wall Decor hanging signs. I have 4 of those. I'll be using the decorative door hangers. I have 6 of these. If you can pick up another one, if you decide to do this craft, I would recommend getting another one. I only went to one Dollar Tree, so I was only able to get the 6, but the 7th one would be for gluing it in the center of one of the sleds just for extra support. But because I wasn't able to find an extra one, I just picked up this Dollar Tree tumbler, which is absolutely beautiful. I found it in the bathroom section. So I will be gluing this underneath one of the sleds for extra support in case I place anything heavier on the sled. I have some Dollar Tree nautical rope, some gigantic craft sticks, as I said, the acrylic paint in white and black. For one of the sleds, I will need 1 magnetic button. Also for one of the sleds, I'll be using the Chalk It Up chalkboard paint. And again, for one of the sleds, I need 3 letters. I will be spelling out the word snow. So I picked up the S, the N, and the W. And at the moment, I was able to find 2 types of letters. One is the wooden block letters that are already painted and they come in different colors, or the particle board or MDF board letters that I absolutely love. And those are all the items that I will be using. So without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so to start the DIY, I'm gonna go ahead and build my sleds. For the first sled, I'm using 2 of the love signs, the wall hanging signs, and 4 of the decorative door hangers. For the second sled, I'm using 2 of the love signs and 2 of the decorative door hangers. I'm gonna go ahead and sand each piece down, as the door hangers are a little bit glossy and they also have some glitter on them. And with the love signs, when I remove the hearts, there tends to be some glue underneath. So I'm gonna sand them all down and prep them for paint. I also will be using the gigantic craft sticks to glue the love signs together and to keep them nice and strong. I've sanded all my pieces down, and now I'm going to make the fronts of the sleds, or the tops. And what I did was I took 2 of the love signs, turned them over, so 2 for the one sled, 2 for the other. I took my pack of gigantic craft sticks, you get 10 in a pack, and I just placed 5 on the backs of each of my sleds. And with hot glue, I will just glue those down to keep the signs together. Okay, so I ended up changing the position of my craft sticks when I glued the two love signs together. Now I still used 5, but I glued 1 on each end, 1 in the center, and then the 2 in between I turned the opposite way to close up that seam, and it's nice and strong together. So I like the positioning of it better this way. Now with one of the sleds, I'm going to go ahead and glue on the bottom part. So I took 4 of my door hangers. I placed 2 side by side so that the turned part is out on each end. And I have 3 craft sticks on each to glue them together. So with this particular sled, I'm going to be painting the bottoms in white before I glue it to the top piece. This piece I'll be painting with chalkboard paint, so once I've painted it all and it's dried, I then will put it together. With my second sled, I'm going to glue it all together, and then once it's glued together, I'm going to spray paint the whole piece in white. Spray paint or just use the acrylic paint, depends on the weather outside. But so how I'm gonna assemble this is I'm going to turn my piece over, and because my 3 pieces here are all the same height, I have to make sure that I'm gluing them on the craft sticks so they remain even. So I'll take my tumbler, and then on the bottom of the tumbler, I will probably use some E6000, but I think hot glue might work just fine. And I'll glue it to the center of that top piece. Then I will take my door hangers, the 2, and I will glue 1 on each end of that top piece. Once it is glued in place, I then will paint my sled. So the sled is glued together. Now I did make a mistake when I was gluing this. I glued the door hangers the wrong way, so the rounded part was facing down. So lucky enough, I realized it quickly and I was able to take it apart, and then I just turned them around so now the curves are facing up. So before I do spray paint it, one other thing I want to do is take 2 other gigantic craft sticks. I want to cover up the holes here on the top of the sled. So I'm just gonna hot glue one down at the top, and then to make the bottom look the same, I'll just glue another one at the bottom. So I have painted all my pieces to my sleds. My second sled is almost ready to be glued together. I'm just giving it a little bit more time to dry. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and paint those letters that I took from a previous DIY that I disassembled, and I'm going to be painting those in white. Now in that DIY, I also used 3 of these wooden decor pieces. I had one left over because the other 2 I already used, and I happened to place it in the front of the sled in between the 2 door hangers, and I absolutely love how it looks. To me, it just finishes off the piece. Without it, it looked fine. It just looked a little bit too open for me. But with that, it just seems like it finishes the front of the sled, as this does seem like it is a piece of the sled. So I think it looks really nice with it there, so I'm going to add that on there, and even adding that extra piece really keeps this large DIY very cost effective. So next, I want to just mention, you probably saw that I had painted these black, but I didn't like them in the black. The reason I did paint them black is because when you're using these gigantic craft sticks, if you get the colored ones, the color does bleed through if you're painting them white. So I thought by putting the black, it would just hide that color, and it did, but I just didn't really like the black there. So I just decided to go over it again with some white. It still bled through. I did stipple the paint on more than brushing it, and it seemed to help a bit. But what I'm gonna do to try to take the eye away from that is I'm gonna paint a couple of bands with black paint at the right here and also at the back, and hopefully that'll just make it look a lot better. I like it white, but I think it just needs something else. I also may go ahead and stencil something here in the middle, but I just figured, at least for now, I'll add those bands and kind of keep it simple, because this is going to be something for me to place items on. And I mean, I definitely can stencil something, but it probably will be covered up by whatever I'm placing on top. But I also think that that would give it a really nice look. So now let me go ahead and paint up these letters, and then I will assemble the second sled, add that black paint to this one, and I will be able to glue my letters on that second sled and show you how everything looks like all put together. So I finished painting my letters. I was going to fully paint them in white, but instead I painted it so it looks like snow has fallen on the letters, and I just like that look a lot better. So being that I added reinforcement to the one sled that I showed you that's already put together, I'm going to do the same to the second sled. And again, I will be gluing this in between the 2 door hangers that are acting as my feet or the bottom of the sled. And what I'll be using for that is this Dollar Tree decor piece. It is also made from MDF or press board. It says wisdom is power, but remember, if you can't find this exact piece, you just want to find something that's the right length to keep your door hangers nice and solid to make a sturdier piece. Okay everyone, so here are my all Dollar Tree sleds. So I ended up using the acrylic paint. After all, it was just too cold out and we did get some snow, so I ended up just painting them with the acrylic paint and they came out really nice. So I'm happy that I can say it is all Dollar Tree, and I absolutely love how both of these sleds turned out. So here I have the larger one. I will move it over in a minute so that you can see it. It is up against a dark wall, so you can't see it as well. And being that the front, it is painted with the chalkboard paint, you can't see it all that great. But I love how this turned out. It is so nice, such a nice size. I have it leaning against my wall. I ended up adding the little red metal heart that was on the sign to replace the letter O to spell the word snow. And of course, because it is chalkboard, you can write whatever you want on there. I did at first write "Let It Snow," but then I just changed it to "Love You Snow Much." And I added a Dollar Tree red and black buffalo check to drape over the top. And I love this piece. Now, if you didn't want to add the letters, this as well, once it's laying flat, would also look really nice on a sofa back table or on top of a dinner table if you have a large table, to add items on top of it to make a really nice centerpiece. I really thought about doing that, and then I just decided to add the letters since I did make this other one here for on top of my table. But I absolutely love it. I added the nautical rope to the top as the pull for the sled, and I just can't say enough how much I love how this piece has turned out. And a really nice size, over 2 feet as well, so really nice and so inexpensive to make. Moving on over to this sled, I love it. I'm so glad that I added the wooden decor piece to the front, because as I said, I have this on top of a table where you're not really seeing the back of the sled. I just added the one wooden decor piece. Now, if I had this on top of a coffee table, I might just add another one to the back, because I just think it really finishes the piece off. And again, it also adds reinforcement, so it's a really solid piece. You can see as I was recording, this area here I changed quite a few times. I first painted it white, but because the color was bleeding through, I then painted it black. I didn't like it black. I painted it back to white, but it was pink in color, so I went ahead and used the Dollar Tree burnt umber acrylic paint, and I absolutely love how it turned out. I also added some black stripes to the front and back, and then I just painted these faux screws on there as well, and I absolutely love it. I took some black paint and I distressed the sled to look like it was a little bit more worn out, and added the nautical rope again to the front. Now, this lantern here I did make last year. It is all Dollar Tree as well, except for these flowers. These flowers I did pick up last year at Michael's in a grab bag. I never have luck with finding grab bags at Michael's because they're usually all gone. But in this one bag, they had 5 of these velvety poinsettia wreaths, and they are so beautiful. I did pick up 5, but 2 of them were not in good shape, so I did hang the 2 up here at the top, and then I placed one in my tobacco basket at the bottom, and then with the other 2 I just took the flowers off, and then I used them for the top of my Dollar Tree lantern here. And I love how it all works together. I will post the link to this DIY in the description box below if you're interested to see how I made that. So I added the lantern, I added this Dollar Tree heart vase, and I just have a Dollar Tree here in the back in the Dollar Tree canister or vase. and then another buffalo check red and black scarf. I do like to keep trees up in my house because I just think that it gives a very cozy cabiny feel. So that's why I still have that there. But I can't say enough how much I love how these two sleds turned out. And again, they were very inexpensive to put together, and you do get a nice, large, strong, solid piece. Well guys, that will do it for this DIY. I really hope that you enjoyed them. Oh wait, let me go ahead and move the other sled. This one here, I'm gonna move it over on the ground to see if, just to see if you can see it a little bit better. One moment. Okay, so here I've just laid it down so that you can see the top better. How adorable is that? I just love that the top is a chalkboard so that you can really have a lot of fun with it. I love the black and white together, and then I'm really glad that I ended up leaving the brown in the letter and just using the white to look like there was snow that had fallen on top of the letters. So I do love that, and it's just a really nice size piece. Inexpensive and very, very strong, really well put together, and something that I definitely will enjoy year after year. Here you can see the sides. I think it's adorable how the ends came out, and I'm really, really pleased with how it all came together. Well guys, that will do it for this video. Again, I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video if you can. It greatly helps my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love and appreciate it if you did. As always, you take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.